Welcome back to Property Palz. My name's Ben.
My name is Marcus.
And we are so excited for another week of the podcast, aren't we, Marky?
We are very excited. What number, Ben?
We are on the quarter of a century, 25.
25. Well, you know what they say about 25? It's a good time to be alive.
That's right, quarter of a century. And very quickly, been pretty good week, still a lot of properties coming on the market. What's interesting is I saw in the paper that Sydney house prices are going to appreciate by 10% this year. I'm not sure if Melbourne's the same, so Sydney's just on a whole nother level, but we still think Melbourne is the most livable city in the world.
There's an undersupply, so it has to obviously increase in housing because there's demand. Ben, let's get into it. Number five.
Number 5, come on, hit me with it, Marcus.
8 of 26 to 36 High Street, Northcote, big boy. 1 bed, 1 bath, 1 car.
Ooh.
It was built or converted in 2004.
What's the quote price?
Quote price is 630 to 680k, big boy. It's a lot for a one.
And it's an auction, okay.
Is that a lot for a one better?
630 to 680k. That's a sizable amount for a
It's
one-bedroom
big amount, isn't
apartment.
It? So it's 87 square meters. Not sure if that's
so decent
accurate.
Size.
I'm not sure. So $7,800 per square meter. Last sold in 2018 for 610k, Ben. So it hasn't appreciated since 2018 much, if we assume it's purchased the lower range.
610, and if it can sell for 680, that's not crazy bad.
Yeah, at least it went up.
Right, that's right. No, when you think about it, so that's, what is it, 630 was when it sold last, and it sold for 680.
No, sorry, 610 sold last.
So $70,000, of which you've received over 5 years. It's $10,000 every single year, or a little bit more than that. So it's not too bad, but that's if it sells at the upper end of the range.
Yes, Ben, good one. Last sold, so that was it, 2018 for 610. Previously in 2009 for 350k.
Yes.
Listed for rent in 2022
Okay.
for 480 a week.
Okay.
Now, what are your thoughts on the good old dark timber or the dark kind of paint job?
Look, when I see the photos of what this house looks like, straight away, it does look very cool, right?
It looks like modern and industrial.
The interior design, that's it. Like industrial, exposed masonry brick walls around the edges.
Masonry.
The bedroom ceiling is just like a steel, and then we've got steel beams exposed to as well. The bathroom looks really cool. The style looks nice.
Yeah, and it's over 3 levels. It blends contemporary style with, I think, that original industrial character. It's got full concrete polished floors. It's got exposed brick walls, as you said. The interior comprises ground floor retreat office. It's over 3 levels. Ben, I really like how it's over 3 levels. The bedroom is big. It's got a void, a little bit of a downside. The windows, the natural light, are potentially lacking a little.
That's right. And why is that?
Because, well, you don't have many windows.
So you've only got a window from the living room area, is it? Right?
So you've got one bedroom, and then you've got facing the
bedroom
west at the
gets
living
it
room.
from the north, which is pretty good, and that also will get a little bit down in through the void to the living room area. But the main window is the living room area, which faces east. So in the morning you're going to get a lot of sun, in the afternoon not so much.
Yeah, and it's full of it's got treetop views, expansive second floor features, beautiful soaring high ceilings. It's got a unique range of options because it's a mixed-use property, offers both in residential and commercial, Ben, making it suitable for both uses. It's near West Garth Station, I think, or West Garth, just a short walk to local cafes, West Garth Village, Queen's Parade, Merry Creek Trails, trams and trains. Ben, that is a number 5.
I think just to close this off and tie the bow, it's walkable distance to the TV station, the train station there, West Garth, like you mentioned. Is it a little bit too much of a busy road for some people, High Street? That is quite busy. I've driven down there to get from, say, around North Fitzroy sort of area all the way through to Northcote and Thornbury. It's a little bit busy, but then again, I think you're right. Over the multiple levels, industrial feel, that could be quite attractive.
Last thing, it's changed in median value over the last 12 months, negative 5.4% for units in Northcote.
Oh, okay, well this one, if it goes up, you're doing pretty well then.
You're doing not bad.
Now let's jump into number 4, and we're going to go to a hip, cool and again, an industrial suburb, Cremorne. This is Unit 803-163 Cremorne Street, Cremorne. Now, on the listing it says Richmond. Cremorne is actually part of the suburb of Richmond, but Cremorne is this pocket of Richmond, which is very hot and under demand.
Yeah, would you prefer being called Cremorne or Richmond? Which one do you think
Cremorne's got a cooler feel to it, I think, a little bit more exclusive. Now, Cremorne is predominantly an office area, but this is one of the unique residential developments.
Tell me more.
Now, this one, Marcus, it's a 2-bed, 2 bath, 1 car, going to auction, being quoted for $700,000 to $770,000.
Benjamin.
Now, this one is located in the Era complex. Now, it's about 120 apartments plus a bit of commercial office/ground floor retail. It's more of an ground floor office area. It was designed by Plus Architects and developed by Deal Corp back in 2007. So it's about 15, 16 years old now. 120 apartments. It last sold for $667,000 in July 2013.
667 in July 2013.
So
So 10 years later, and it's only asking, what, 100K more?
Well, if it sells
10K a year?
If it sells for $700,000, well, that's only a $33,000 appreciation over 10 years. Now, if it sells for $770,000, then it's about $100,000 over 7 years. So it's not a crazy appreciation.
7 years or 10 years? July
10 years,
13,
sorry.
yeah.
But I think there are some things that I really like about this apartment.
Can I guess them?
Oh, please, jump in, Marcus.
No,
I think, first thoughts, what do you think of it, Marcus?
I was just going to say, Ben, those bedrooms are separated.
Wham! Now, our followers of the podcast know that we have a preference. It's not compulsory, but we do have a preference for the separated bedrooms because it gives a little bit of flexibility. One, that you can't really hear from the other bedroom. If you're renting out one of those rooms, you can rent it out and you have separate living.
Ben's loud, I'm not loud.
Marcus snores, I don't snore. But there's just a little bit of an advantage of having them separated. Also, what's really good to point out, just this overall area, and I live in an apartment similar sort of design with a split bedroom, central living area, but having that island kitchen bench is extremely desirable, and this is a sizable apartment.
Ben, 7 times by 5, 35
I think so.
square metres.
That is quick maths.
Whoa.
I think overall, this one here, I can't tell you exactly what the internal area is, but it's over 70 square metres. So on the lower end of the quoted range, this is for about $10,000 a square metre. I think it's probably a little bit bigger than 70. We're probably talking about $10,000 a square metre. Now that, for this sort of apartment with that sizable balcony, look, it's got a sizable ensuite for the bedroom. It's got a bathroom. It's got a bath too as well in the guest bathroom or the second bathroom. So you can have a shower. You can also have a bath, island kitchen bench, storage cage. The car space there doesn't have the dimensions, but that looks like a massive car space.
Oh, yeah, it's not in proportion.
I think you're probably right there, Marcus.
Ben, I was just going to say 2 things. 4 by 3.2 is great size for that master suite.
Super.
The living dining area is a big area. Like we talk about other apartments we see, sometimes that living dining area is a bit smaller, more compact. This one's sizable. You could have essentially a space for your couch, your TV, and then also have a dining table.
Yeah, I think in terms of proportion-wise, this is perfect. And even in that range, if it sells for the low end of that range, there are stamp duty savings for first-home buyers. Ben, so that is very attractive. Storage cages, we know how important they are. The only kind of thing that probably is a little bit of a disadvantage of this one is that it faces south and east. So that's one of them. So south, you're not going to get the sun all throughout the day. East, you're going to get it in the morning. Also, too, a couple of good things. It's got common areas. It's got like a garden, a pool, and a gym. But there is one issue: is that if this property ever just to the immediate southeast, that there's quite a large portion which is a warehouse. Now this warehouse, sooner or later, it's going to get developed and probably going to be developed into, say, like a 10-storey, maybe plus storey office development. So that will block a little bit of your south view. Now to your immediate east though, it's neighbourhood residential, which we know you probably can't develop too much out of that. So look, I think it's good. A little bit of a longer term development risk of blocking out a bit of a view, but I think it's something attractive.
Ben, just to bring up the floor plan just for a tick, I was just going to look, are the corridors, it's quite a long one. Do you think you'd be able to hobble along there pretty well?
I think it'll be perfectly for hobbling. Okay, I'm under number 3.
Number 3. 301/4 Sydney Street, Prahran East.
Prahran East.
2 bed, 2 bath, 2 car. Contact agent, not an auction. Contact them.
Wait, by that we mean, okay, so it's a private sale.
Private sale.
Yep.
950K to 1.045 million. Last sold in 2001 for 486K, Ben. 486K. And now it's quoted for? 5 million.
Wow, okay.
But 1.045. So unfortunately not sure how big it is, big boy.
But it's a sizable area. I can see on the floor plans. It's quite long. The bedrooms are down one end and the living room's up the other.
I actually really like that, don't you? Like it's separated well. I don't think you're really going to have... The only thing is the bedrooms are next to each other.
But see, some families or some people actually don't mind that because at least the bedrooms are just one area. That's where people sleep. The living room is the other other area. So if people are watching TV in the living room,
True.
the bedrooms are
And
far
then you
away.
can knock on the wall in between. But, hey, how you doing? And that one. A genuine 1960s classic, large
cool.
and bathed in northern light. 2-bedroom, was recently refurbished. It's got great views at the top. It's within one of Prahran's, I guess, more tightly held areas, I think, and it's a kind of an iconic residential apartment
I was
building.
going to say, it does look pretty nicely refurbished as well.
Well, the inside of it, Ben, not the outside, of
So
course.
would you call this a block of flats?
I call it a tall block
It's
of
1960s,
flats.
right? Pretty big.
Well, bigger the better in this. I would call it. It's an older one. The larger bit. What are the bedroom sizes, Big Benjamin?
They're not a bad size. In this case, let's just have a look. We'll scroll all the way down.
Oh, you could have just
There
gone
we
to
go.
the top.
There we go. So 3.8 by 3.8 for the main,
big
plus
ensuite.
a walk-in robe, and then 3 by 3.8. Those are sizable bathrooms. Ensuite looks pretty decently sized. Guest bathroom's okay. It does have a bath as well, because some people like that. The laundry is separated probably far enough from the bedrooms.
Yeah.
I know that because sometimes the laundry can be noisy at night time if you're doing anything there.
Close enough to Prahran railway station, High Street, where you can choose between the trams or I think the trains and the trams of, I guess, Armidale.
It's super. Like, I think, did you comment that it just overlooks the park?
Yeah.
So, like, that's got super X factor, I think. And then also, too, just, is there a development directly next door to it, by any chance? There you go, Sydney Street. I think we might have reviewed a property directly next door before, Marcus.
Oh, is that the one that
Yeah,
White Fox was selling?
There we go. Look, what's that? Sydney Residences. I can't tell who have developed. Look, I think this is the one that we did a review.
The
It's got
white one,
nice-
it's curvy. Yeah,
so
curvaceous.
that's not going to very curvaceous. That's not going to block out too much of your views because you're facing mainly north and south. But I think this is a very attractive apartment.
Is it? Yep.
Very good. Anyway, let's jump on to. I think we're smashing through it, Marcus, at the moment. Oh, we're doing very well. Now I'm going to take you for number 2. This one is an absolute ripper, Marcus. We're going to 25 Windsor Place in the Melbourne CBD, unit number 9. This is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1-car townhouse.
This is your dream in the Melbourne CBD. Do you love these townies with a land component? You're just like,
So
wow.
this one here, it doesn't necessarily have a standalone land
Oh,
component,
it
but
doesn't?
definitely there's only 10 units in this whole complex. So your townhouse or kind of apartment component would represent a sizable portion of land, but we'll get to that in a
it's
second.
not a townhouse, Ben?
It's not a townhouse, but it's
Okay.
listed as a townhouse. Now, it's been quoted for $1.4 to $1.5 million. I've got a bit of history about this now.
Give it
This
to
one
me.
here, I've done my due diligence.
Oh,
This one
couple
last
minutes.
sold for $830,000 in January 2012. So circa 10 years ago, 830 now 1.4 to $1.5 million. So it's nearly doubled in value over this time. I'm guessing probably the agent's hoping it might sell for a little bit above that too.
Yeah.
That's a double in value. Compare that to, say, what was the other one that we reviewed earlier on, which was purchased and then it hadn't appreciated really much at all. So if it's a good quality one, it appreciates. If it's not a very good quality one, there's going to be some risks. Now, with this, just looking here, so when I was looking at the sales in this building, there's sales as early as 1998 to 1999. So that's over 25 years ago. I'm not sure when it was done exactly, but at least you're buying something that's 25 plus years old. And at that stage, a 2-bedder or a 3-bedder was selling for $400,000.
Wow, Ben.
It was the most recent sale I can see in the building, because there's only 10 units in total, was a 3-bedder. It sold in November 2018, not whole floor, but on 1 floor, so this one's over 3, for $1.515 million. I would argue that this one's being sold is a better unit.
Okay.
And this one's being quoted for 1.4 to 1.5, so there might be scope for this one to sell for more than that. And in terms of internal area, without knowing exactly what it is, I think there's at least 150 square metres of internal area. So it's been quoted for about $10,000 a square metre, maybe less, at grade parking. But, Marky, what do you reckon of it so far?
Ben, it's quite interesting. You're on the ground. It's interesting on the ground
But
floor.
just so we're clear, I
Okay.
don't think that ground floor is actually on ground.
Ground floor, yeah.
I think it's on. I think this apartment here, and we'll pop up a couple of photos here too as well.
It
where
isn't. You
I've
can
circled.
tell.
It's the top 2 levels. So I think it's more kind of level 2,
Yeah.
or the 3rd story and the 4th story of the building.
It's weird they call it ground floor, so let's assume, I was about to say, it's a bit odd on the ground floor having the windows just looking onto the street.
That's it. And the CBD, particularly for Windsor Place, which probably at night time gets a little bit dark.
A bit dark, but we
little
don't
bit
mind the dark. So I just think it's really nice. You've got 2 bedrooms, Ben, that have en suites. One that's obviously used as the secondary bathroom too. You got a study in a bedroom. Another could be a 3rd bedroom. Good little breakout space, they might say. And then you've got the balconies. Like you've got 3 balconies,
which is
Not
really
bad.
cool.
Is it facing north?
Now it would be facing west and east.
West and east.
Now, what's really interesting about its location is that facing to the immediate east is the Windsor Hotel.
Oh, the Windsor.
So now you're facing just the rear back of the bricks of the Windsor Hotel. But what is very fortuitous and lucky is that the Windsor Hotel, a few years back, they had a huge permit that we're going to pop up here. A huge permit. Now, that would have blocked all your sun
Natural
in the
light,
morning.
yeah.
Now, that permit was cancelled. They tried to keep extending it, the owners of the property there, keep extending it, and then council did not pass it in the end, and it went to VCAT and then didn't get passed in the end.
Wait, so it was passed.
They got a permit, I think, over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But then they kept trying to extend it.
They didn't build it.
But they never built it, and it was huge. It was just absolutely massive. So it would have dominated everything in that area.
And then as they've gone back, they got rejected.
After they tried to extend it with permits sometimes, if you extend it too many times, they won't extend it for you.
Wow, so you don't think you'll be able to get something similar to that now?
No, you won't. In fact, because of the heritage requirements for that area, you might not get anything close to that.
So you wouldn't?
No, you wouldn't. And so that's probably a good thing for this apartment. What's interesting too is that this area is quite a cute and quaint and desirable area for restaurants. So the only Chris Lucas recently
Mr.
bought.
Lucas.
He's putting in, that's right, Mr. Lucas. So Chin Chin.
What's it called, the new one?
Oh, the new one's called Batard.
Oh, Batard, what a name. I like the name.
It's quite a cool one. It's going to be a French bistro. It's honestly just a pebble's throw away from you, but probably far enough so that you're not going to be impacted by the noise from that one there, just on the corner of Windsor Place and Burke Street. We've got a photo up here we're going to pop up. So, and then his office is going to be in that area too as well. I think actually he also bought 130 Little Collins Street, so I'm not sure exactly, but anyway, that's going to be a restaurant. Now, there's also 2 directly next door to you, and this might be a little bit of an issue, was Justin, what's his name? Justin Hermes, or Hermes? Justin Hermes, anyway.
Hermes.
Huge, Maryvale, massive hospitality group they bought next door to that too as well. And so that one currently is a restaurant, but he might look to do something, and there's a little bit of development upside in that too. So look, you're in amongst the hustle and the bustle of it. I think there's lots to like about it. But without further ado, let's go to number 1, Marcus.
Yes, Ben, I don't mind that one.
I thought it was good too.
No, but do you want number 1?
Come on, bring it.
Bring it home. 31 Balmain Street, Richmond, Benjamin.
Richmond, or otherwise known as
Cremorne. Is this in Cremorne?
This is Cremorne.
Oh, Cremorne. Now, 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car. Contact agent. What's that mean, Ben?
I think it's a private sale.
Private sale. 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car. I've said that. 1.5 to 1.65 million.
Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat for this one, Marcus.
And Ben, guess what zone it's in?
Well, it's in Commercial 1.
No, it's in Commercial 2.
Oh.
Yeah, but we
What
know
does
that
mean?
Cremorne has all its
That's
office
true.
usually, only
Very good.
office. So that's something where we know. So
But existing use mean that you can use it as a residence.
yeah,
I'm
you
guessing.
can. It's got a heritage overlay, so I'm not sure if it applies exactly to this. Do your due diligence. It looks quite old, this one. It looks quite nice, I think, the
I
frontage.
think it looks very
It
cool.
says 113 square metres. That is the land component. So all quick maths, how much?
Go on, bam, bam, bam.
113 square metres divided, 1.65 divided by 113, 14,000.6.
On
14.6k per square metre on
on
land.
land. Okay, that's probably about right for Cremorne, but this I'm not sure how much huge development upside is because it's a small site. But go on.
Ben, would you like to know the sales history?
I would love to know the
So
sales
last
history.
sold in 2013 for 1.345 million.
And then they're wanting now.
1.5 to 1.65.
So that's 10 years.
Doesn't make much sense,
That's
that
huge,
to me.
isn't it?
And then
Anyway.
before in 2010, 875k. Before that in 2002, 430k.
Wow. Okay.
So the bedrooms are pretty awesome. They're so spacious. If you look at that master suite, wowee. It's amazing. Split level kind of residence.
Master's awesome. The other bedroom facing downwards is awesome. Then the upstairs second room.
But Ben, the other ones, they both have voids, those ones.
That's right.
So
And that one there, you can see that there you've got a door or a wall
Got
that
a
you can
pulley.
just a pulley. And so maybe it's a decent pulley, maybe it's not.
do you prefer to push it or pull it?
I think I would prefer to have a fixed wall for my bedroom with a proper window.
Yep.
But anyway, go on.
So you've got ideal kind of residence. You could use it as an office too, Ben. So it's got really cool interior, really cool interior. It's got good balconies. It's got quite high ceilings from my perspective, and it's got secure parking too. North facing in elements, and it's got really nice kind of nice sizable lounge area.
Well, I think, Marcus, just some comments. We pop up a photo of the front of the property. You see how they've added those, what do you
I would call them
mullions?
shading strategy.
Yeah, shading strategy, but also a bit of privacy too, so that the dining area downstairs.
Almost.
Screening, yep, I think that's quite attractive. The bricks on the outside of the facade look really nice. Next door is an office building. On the other side looks like a residence. You're right in the hustle and bustle of it. Probably soon, there'll always be a little bit of a noise in Cremorne just because there's so much development going on. But this is an attractive property, and I can see someone will fall in love with it.
And that ground floor is very sexy. You've got concrete or something floors. You've got the kitchen, and I'm bloody loving it.
And that's it, guys. We're going to try and keep it under 20 minutes this week. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell your mum, dad, sister, brother, everyone that you know, and tune in next week for another episode of the Property Palz. See you later, guys. Bye.